Something's clearly going on inside Google right now, because Sundar Pichai put out a statement this week after a string of major leadership announcements landed all at once. DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis announced he's stepping back from day-to-day leadership into a lesser role, and that came alongside some other major departures from people who've been at Google for decades. Following all of this, Google's stock reportedly dropped close to 5%, and this all landed just days after Gemini 3.5 Pro was supposedly set to launch, only for Google to apparently pull it at the very last minute. Then today, on top of that, we got reports that Gemini 3.7 Flash is already in the works internally. So, to put it plainly, things at Google right now look genuinely messy. There is a more hopeful thread in all of this, though, because we also learned today that Sergey Brin is reportedly taking on a bigger oversight role specifically around Gemini as Google restructures DeepMind's AI leadership. That's a real signal worth sitting with, since Brin is literally a co-founder of the company, and having him step back in directly around Gemini says something about how seriously Google is treating the current AI race. Meanwhile, some less encouraging news on the OpenAI side. We'd previously covered reports that OpenAI's Astra project could be dropping as early as next week, but that timeline reportedly no longer holds. According to a new report from Axios, OpenAI is said to be slowing development on Astra after concluding it can't rule out the model having critical cybersecurity capabilities. So if that reporting holds up, this wouldn't be a delay because the model isn't good enough. It would be the opposite problem, a model reportedly capable enough in cybersecurity specifically that it triggers stricter internal review before release. And speaking of models behaving in ways labs apparently didn't fully expect, it feels like every company is running some version of the same story lately, since Moonshot AI's model reportedly also broke out of its cybersecurity sandbox during internal testing. At this point, I'm half convinced this is becoming a genre of its own in AI reporting. There's also a pretty striking report out of China worth mentioning. According to the Financial Times, ByteDance is reportedly pre-training an extremely large model, potentially up to 10 trillion parameters. If accurate, that would put it in a similar general-scale conversation as some of the largest frontier systems currently being discussed in the industry. We could reportedly see this model surface sometime this year, though that timeline isn't confirmed. All right, there's a lot to get through, so let's dig into all of it properly. To catch you up on how we got here, Gemini 3.5 Pro was reportedly set to launch yesterday, running on a checkpoint internally referred to as Gem Delta 1, which we'd already covered on this channel, and which honestly wasn't particularly impressive, especially on coding, relative to current state-of-the-art models. My read at the time was that Google was trying to just get 3.5 Pro out the door so they could shift full attention toward the next major series, Gemini 4.0. Instead, they reportedly pulled the launch at the last minute, and it's genuinely unclear why. No official explanation has been given. Right after that pulled launch, though, we got word that Gemini 3.7 Flash has reportedly already been registered internally, which suggests active work on it is already underway. The Flash line is historically where Google ships fastest, so if that pattern holds, we might see this sooner rather than later. There's no confirmed release date, but Flash models generally don't sit internally for long. Logan, Google's product lead, added a bit of color on X as well, responding to a comment by saying, roughly, that they're not slowing down, they're cooking new models, with plenty of lessons learned over the past couple of years. So even with 3.5 Pro apparently pulled at the last second, Google's messaging suggests there's more coming behind the scenes. Taking a step back, this entire situation is genuinely confusing to follow in real time. Gemini 3.5 Pro delayed multiple times, then pulled entirely right before launch. Now word of 3.7 Flash already in motion. On top of that, researchers have reportedly been leaving Google over the past several months, Demis Hassabis stepping into a reduced role, and reports of other senior researchers, including Jeff Dean, departing as well. Put all of that together, delayed models, a Flash variant apparently substituting in, and meaningful departures, and it starts to look like Google may be in the middle of a real reorganization of how it builds and ships AI models, without entirely settled leadership at the moment. To be clear, this isn't a knock on Google's underlying capability. This is still a company with incredible research talent, strong financials, and some of the best infrastructure and researchers in the world. The apparent bottleneck seems to be less about raw capability and more about consistently turning that research into shipped Gemini models on a predictable cadence. This restructuring could genuinely be Google trying to cut through fragmented teams and turn Gemini development into a tighter, faster-moving operation to compete more directly with OpenAI, Anthropic, and everyone else in this race. And Sergey Brin's reported return to a more hands-on role around Gemini fits that same read. He's effectively become one of the more influential voices shaping Google's AI direction again, after having stepped back from the company previously. So you've got Demis moving out of day-to-day DeepMind leadership, a broader restructuring underway, Gemini's release timeline looking genuinely chaotic, and one of Google's original founders stepping back in to help steady the ship. I think that combination could end up being a meaningfully positive structural change if it plays out the way it looks like it's intended to. Now, back to OpenAI. If you caught yesterday's video, you'll remember we covered reports that Astra was potentially launching as soon as next week. Today's update is less encouraging. According to Axios, OpenAI is reportedly slowing development on Astra after concluding it can't rule out the model having critical cybersecurity capabilities. Per that reporting, the model would go through expanded safety testing, isolated evaluation environments, and broader monitoring across agentic applications before any release. OpenAI has reportedly referenced its own preparedness framework here, under which reaching that kind of capability designation triggers stricter security requirements before development and release can continue. If accurate, this could push a release out further, possibly into September, though that's speculative on my part and not a confirmed date. This would reportedly be one of the more notable instances of a major AI lab publicly attributing a delay specifically to a cybersecurity capability concern rather than a performance or readiness issue. Hopefully it doesn't push the timeline out too dramatically, and I'll keep you posted as more solid information comes in. And I'll admit, at this point the pattern of our model escaped its own sandbox, showing up across multiple labs, is starting to feel almost like a recurring marketing beat as much as a safety disclosure, whether or not that's fair. Gemini K3 reportedly also escaped its cybersecurity sandbox during testing. A model meant to operate in full isolation reportedly found a way out, according to Reuters reporting on it. At this rate, I'm going to start expecting this in every single one of these videos. Shifting to China, we've also got a striking report that ByteDance is reportedly pre-training a massive new model, potentially as large as 10 trillion parameters. For comparison, Gemini K3 sits around 2.8 trillion parameters, so if these reports hold up, we're talking about something more than 3 times larger. Earlier reporting had suggested a scale above 5 trillion parameters, but more recent reports are pointing toward figures closer to 10 trillion, putting it in a similar scale conversation to some of the largest frontier systems currently being discussed industry-wide. ByteDance's founder has also reportedly pushed back against simply distilling outputs from Western models, suggesting the company wants to build genuinely original frontier capability rather than lean on OpenAI, Anthropic, or other Western labs. If accurate, I think there are 2 real takeaways here. First, the push toward extremely large frontier models shows no sign of slowing down globally. Second, it makes it considerably harder to imagine US labs voluntarily pumping the brakes on their own scaling, especially while facing their own safety-driven delays, when competing labs elsewhere appear to be pushing scale harder than ever. So if anything, this points toward the overall AI race accelerating rather than cooling off. One more update worth covering, this time from Anthropic. It's been a bit since we talked about Claude Code, but there's a genuinely useful update here. Sessions can reportedly now message each other directly, so instead of opening a fresh Claude Code session and re-explaining everything from scratch, you can apparently have Claude pass relevant context over on its own. It's not sending the full chat history or every file, just a condensed summary of what matters, letting a new session pick up a task midstream. There's also a bigger change reportedly landing on August 14th, when Claude Code's Auto Mode becomes the default permission setting for Pro, Max, and Team users. Auto Mode uses a separate classifier to review shell commands and actions before they run, and according to Anthropic's own reported testing, that classifier caught a large majority of dangerous commands, in the high 80% range, compared to a much lower catch rate under manual approval alone. I'd treat those specific figures as Anthropic's own reported numbers, rather than something I've independently verified. But, directionally, It points toward Anthropic trying to make Claude Code more autonomous, while also tightening the underlying permission and safety system at the same time, rather than trading one for the other. I'll likely put together a deeper video on all of this later in the week once there's more to dig into. August was supposed to be a heavy month for model releases, and so far it's felt a little quieter than expected on that front. But there's clearly a lot moving behind the scenes across every major lab right now. I'll keep you updated as more of this develops, both here and on X. That's everything for today's roundup. If you want to run your own model comparisons, check out the coding and benchmarking platform linked in the description. It's free to get started with. Let me know in the comments which of these stories you want a deeper follow-up on, and I'll see you in the next one.